Hello, Cece. It worked. Yes, it did. It worked. Isn't that lovely? Hopefully it'll work for you too. I'll wait a couple minutes. We'll begin our little girl here. I'm so happy it worked. I would have been really angry. So what have you been doing today? Since you're the only one. Oh, you went golfing. That's right. How do you golf? Did Robert golf well? I don't know how he could have. Today it's like 90 some degrees out. It must have been. I mean, no, it's got to be hot there. It must have been miserable. Hey, Susan. Hi. Oh, what do you do? Play 9 holes? Hi, Dawn. How are you, Miss Dawn? Okay, I guess we get started. This is what we're gonna make. This little gingerbread girl in her little dress and her little eyeballs. I'm really proud of her eyeballs and her eyelashes. I didn't hook them on because I didn't want to have to make another pair, because at first I had a very difficult time cutting these out, but I didn't realize I had double contacts in at the time. So we're gonna save these, and we are gonna start on our little gingerbread. This is how the outcome will look, hopefully. All right, the materials that I'm gonna use is, we have a pattern, and I had to do a little bit of adjustment on the pattern because this was one of Lori's patterns that I think she got it from Canva, and then took it apart like she was telling us how we do that in the group, which I didn't. I must have missed part of that because I didn't figure it out. So anyways, she took it apart, and then you have to be able to attach the arms and the legs so that this one goes over here. You know, you got a base on it. This is the base, this is the belly, this is the head, so that it all fits in there nicely. So I had to extend a few of the things, and I had to change the dress a little bit, and make the legs a little bit longer so that we can attach it all in the back, like this. Okay, so that'll be in whatever the pattern is. You have a migraine? I bet you, being on that heat, I have a migraine too. So, first thing I did, I usually make me a pattern from the paper, which comes off your computer, and do it like the poster board before I do the foam board, because it's just sturdier and it just is better. So I have that, and the one important thing, because this head is kind of adjusted, you're better off putting that thing on there so you know you got the head in the right area when you go to attach it. But that's getting ahead of us. So first thing we're going to do is, I have on here already on my pieces, I have glued on my quilt batting, and I use a double one, so you got to make sure it's glued on there nice and nice, really good. And this is this that I have here is fleece. It's the nicer fleece for this. And when you're going to be attaching the head so that it has some stability, you want to make sure that you mark a line, take your little head, put it in there, mark a line on your foam board where you want that to go on. So then when it's hooked together, it'll be like this, and you'll see that this will give it the stability. That's what I did with the arms and the legs and everything. So we're going to start out with the belly, and I'll make sure I got this on the right side, like I can really tell. I think it's this way. Okay, so we're here. I drew a line where I want my head for the attachment, right in through here with that. And I'm going to take this and just glue it down there first. Just put a light strain down here so this will clip onto it. And just press it down. See if I got enough over here. And this is the plush, I think, fleece. So, and it's got a nice stretch to it. And when I just lay this down, I lay my pieces down on the fleece and I just cut it around so that I have enough to push it over, pull it up, and I'll have enough to glue it around the edges of it. And, you know, then you can trim it a little bit after you get it all on there. So I start down at the bottom, push it so it's firm, and we shall put some little glue down here. And then I just gather it around. Just pull it, gather it, like that, so you have a nice, like, smooth edge around there. Then I'm gonna just bring it all the way up to the top. I'm going to do the other side. I want this high enough, but I don't want to burn myself. I did a doozy on my finger a couple weeks ago. I forgot that I had it turned up, and oh my Lord. I still got a hole. It hasn't quite healed yet. See, so you have a nice rounded belly. And then we're gonna, over here, I think my glue dried a little bit, so put a little bit more down and pull it forward. Then you can just go along and trim some of this off. I think I've screwed up every pair of scissors that I have. So there, now I got a nice little edging on that. You know, and for the back of it, you can just take a piece of the fleece and cut it out. And, well, let's see. We want this to be up, and we want this to be down here on the table. There we go. So we got that taped right in through here on the top, and we got this all smooth. Now we're going to do the head. Now when you're, you know, it's nice to have, you want to have the head because it's like kind of, I don't know, oblong-y kind of, and you want to make sure you got it the right way. So I wrote it down on my poster board here, so I know my head goes that way. Now we're going to look and make sure I have it. It's a little bit hard to tell the back from the front, but this usually is a little bit gradier for the fleece. And turn it over. Now I just put it around the top, around the edges first. Hold it down so you make sure it all sticks. Then we're going to go to the back or the top, whichever. Do the same thing. Then I do the sides. Trim off some of the excess on it. And hopefully I didn't get this glued in there. Yeah, these scissors are going too. You know, there was a pair that I got that lasted really long, and then I ordered another pair, and it was the same brand, the same thing, offline, and they didn't last very long. Okay, so now we got our little head done. See, and that's going to go right there where... And around the top part, if you don't have it really smooth, you're going to have some hair on there. So it's going to be okay. And then you can see where your shape is for the head so you don't have it looking cockeyed with that. Now we have one of the arms and then a leg. Hi, Linda. We're making a gingerbread little girl. This is the right side. See, so with this, I made this longer than what we're going to use, so this can attach to the belly. And you can tell which side it goes on by the slanting of it. So this will be for your right side, and this one will be for your left side, because it's slanted up, because you want it to hook in like this. You can see that. All right. I think this is the back. So once again, I want to do it right down at that smooth part. Let's flip it over so you can see what we're doing. I got it more or less in the middle. And I don't, you know, I just cut it out to allow enough to go on. You know, you could cut it closer if you're really good at this. I just leave myself for errors a little bit more because I can cut it off. Then I seal it right there, then flip it over. And start it. I usually always start at the bottom and then come up the sides. Hey, Linda, I think we're getting some of your weather here. It's in the 90s. Tomorrow it's going to be 100. Aren't you in Arizona? Isn't Linda in Arizona, I think? You are too, and I know. I went out there today and I was like, yeah, okay, we're not going to do this. The last few days it's been just wonderful because it's like been in the 80s, but the humidity is all not there, and felt really nice. Tomorrow it's going to be quite a miserable day, and they said, I don't know if we're getting storms tonight that are supposed to come in, or they're going to come in tomorrow. So we're going to trim off the excess. Yeah, these scissors are on their way out the door. Seeing where they have, you can just kind of snip that down. So there's our arm. Now we're going to do our other leg. So this is the back. This looks like really grady. I'll put it down at the edge. Hopefully that's about the same as this one. This one I had to trim more. I put it up too far. So one leg looked bigger than the other. But hopefully we'll have a nice holiday weekend, I think. Sometimes in August in Michigan, it can turn cool, and it's like fall has risen. In a couple of days when it was colder, I thought, oh my goodness. And we've got leaves that are coming off. They're not even, they haven't even turned, and they're falling off. I'm like, what does that mean? Too soon. Just put it down and stretch it. I mean, you could use felt with this, but I like this because you got some stretch going on with it. So if you cut it too small, you can adjust it a little bit. I like things I can make where I can adjust if I don't do it perfect. There, oh, those are pretty good. Now the edging you can use, you know, I mean this picture it shows it's got like, you know, the what is this stuff called? What is it called? It's called, I have some here, and this is white, but when I was looking, because I really wanted to use the glitter roping, but it's just too hard to try to get the glue on it and for it to stay because it like pops out. And I even got the smaller size that I have, thinking that would, you know, I could crinkle it in better. But when I was looking, Rick Rack, that's what it's called. I found that I was looking for this, but then I found this. Now, this came from something, I kind of trying to remember because I had like 2 pieces of it left. And I'm like, well, what did that come off of? I think I bought, I don't know if it came in a yard. I think I got it from Craft Outlet. And it was like a woven 4-inch ribbon that it looked like snowballs. You know, you could pull it out. And I think this was what was left of it. Because I mean, there's a number on it, and I'll put this number in. I'll go on Craft Outlet and put it in. But I think you can buy some of this up, and all I did was like accordion it. That's all. And it's just easier for you to get your glue on it and stick it down, just like if you bought the regular Rick Rack. I'm sure you could get different colors, whatever. I just usually, sometimes when I'm doing things, I'll look and see what I have, because I do a lot of stuff, and try to use what I have. Snip it off, and then I'm just going to put some glue on the back of it. Because with the roping, I ended up, let's get this down here. I ended up with it. I had glue everywhere. It just wasn't working like I wanted. Then if you get a little bit of glue like on your material, you can just go in with your dikes and get close and kind of snip it out. That's what I usually do. So there's our 2 legs. And then we'll do our 2 arms. This will be big enough. Yeah, because this is like, this is like, you could probably even do it with that yarn. The yarn, because that's what it feels like. It's like stuffed on wire here. I mean, that would be a lot of hassle, but I just liked it because it was puffy. I wonder why my scissors don't work. So I got a little bit of stuff over here, so I should wait. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'll just like pick it off. All right, now we're gonna try and put our little guy together. Now I'm gonna hot glue this on here, but after I'm done, because this takes so long for this stick fast to dry, and then I'll stick fast it to make sure that it's very secure, so the legs and the arms don't bend and everything, you know. But I am going to just make sure our head is right. We don't want a crooked head. I'm going to stick my, put hot glue on it, and then I will, after I'm all done, I will stick on the stick fast, because that will make sure it doesn't move. And I'll shoot some down here. Just go along the edge there and just take your nozzle and make it kind of smooth. Just let this dry. So it'll lay flat. So you guys do anything for the holiday weekend this week? I'm dog sitting. I'm gonna get Gilly Boy on my granddaughter's dog. They're going up to the cottage, and the person, my son's really good friend, he's there. I don't know if it's one of the children or if it's him. They're allergic to animals, and they got cats and dogs, and so I don't get the kitty cat, but I get the dog. Normally I usually go to their house, but they moved into a new house and they're doing all sorts of stuff. So I guess they think I might not like having everything disrupted. Okay, now when you're putting this in, you want to get this to the top and see how it's slanted, so that's how you know which side you go on. And I this one looks longer than that one. So let's see. I might have to trim it down because I did eyeball all this. Measuring it, of course, you know. Why measure? Oh, it doesn't look like. Okay. So we're going to attach it here right where this joint is, so it sticks out. Right there, and you want to make sure they're look like they're the right length, which they do. Press it down. What did you do? You're going to to the Outer Banks in North Carolina. That sounds wonderful. Better than watching a dog. That looks about right. Pressing down to make sure it really sticks. I definitely need a new table. I think I just stuck glue to this. Okay, so now we're going to put the legs on. Let's see, do I have the right side for this? So when you're attaching these, you just want to have like a V point in the middle, you know, at the bottom of this where the legs attach. See how this is like that? I'm gonna pull this down and glue it on because I had to cut some of it off. I think I had too much. Too much. Okay. And if a little bit of it shows, it's okay because it's gonna have a dress on. And it should cover that. So we are going to put your glue on. And it's just got like a little T in the middle here. Then I'm going to come in the back and just stick some right on the edge there. I don't want to get a lot because I do want to put some of that stick fast down there. So that I know then they won't move. I mean, you could do this a lot. After I started doing this, I thought, well, you know what? I could have done her and put those wooden little balls and stuff and made legs where they could hang down and all of that. This is the original pattern. You can do a lot of different things. You're having your in-laws over? Lucky you. See, I'm too old to have in-laws. They're all gone now. But I always had nice in-laws. I don't know why you don't. I had the best. All right, there we go. We got this stuck, that stuck, and then I'll shoot that after. I just want to be able to put some down in there and quit putting that head on stuff. Now we have our little person all together, and this is how it looks when it's all together. All right, so now we're going to do, now the dress on the doll on this gingerbread, I had to adjust it because of me lengthening the arms, bringing them up, bringing them down. So I made my dress just a little bit bigger so that I can cut it off so it wouldn't be too short. So let's see, we're gonna put this here. I'm gonna look down, so I think I'm gonna take about a half an inch off, see how that looks. Because the original pattern didn't allow for me to make it the extension of the let's do it this way. Then it covers up there, so I'm going to cut this up here around there so that it's sticking down. And I think my legs should go up a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm just taking my finger and going like that to make a little crease so I know where to cut, because I want that to come right down around the edge between the head and the body, like that. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to use, it shows for where you can put, you could cut out material for trim or, I don't even know if I have a piece of that left. You know, you could do a ruffle with just material by gathering it and gluing it on there. But since I had this, I'm going to use this once I put it up there. But on the dress, I'm going to cut this in half and then use my little gingham trim. So I'm going to cut this. Let me see. I'm going to go beyond it. Measuring it out, how much I need. A little bit more. And I can cut it off if I, and then I'm going to cut it down the middle because there's like 2 stitches on this. Now this I got a Hobby Lobby, so it won't make it come apart because it's stitched. The gathering has double stitching. So there, and now I'm going to take this and wrap it around the edge, and then I'm just going to glue it right down around the edge of this for like the trim. The material for this I got at Joann's last year. I'm not sure if they still have it this year, but most likely. I think it was pretty, you know, the candy stuff was pretty popular. That's something they would get. I'm going to cut some of this off because I want enough to go around the edges of it. And then we're going to put this on top of that, this small trim. I'm just going to bring this around the edge here. To make an edge. It will be very painful going over. Oh, you're going over to a sister's. Oh, I thought they were coming to your house. But then again, you live so far away and there's woods or something, isn't there? Or trees. Now I'm just putting a layer down of the glue to put this down. I'm leaving an edge on the edge of it so that I can wrap it around. just like that. And then I'm going to cut it off just a little bit, just so I can take it and wrap it around. On the back of the dress. You only need a little bit to wrap it over. So if it's too much, you know, just cut it off. Okay. So now we got our little dress all ready, and we're going to be gluing it right to the edge of that, because we're going to take this and make a ruffle right up here too. That will be a double ruffle. So that looks like that. Now, it should be big enough. Do I need it to? And this is going to go right in the seam area too, like that. So I'm going to put another strip of glue right around this. Hopefully, it seems perfect. Why does this seem perfect? Maybe I should use this. Yeah. This one a little bit longer, so then if I have to cut it off and bring it around, that one like fits perfect, but you want to have enough to sew it, and cut it off just a little past where the arm fits in. Stick your fingers down there so that you get, so that it can come around the back. So it covers up some of the mechanics. Is that what you're doing? You want to make sure you have enough to cover up your mechanics of how you're putting this together. I'm just going to stick that in there. And then we're going to take a little viewing check here, and we're going to put it in the middle. Just measure it out. And you're going to be putting that right over top, but right in the middle. It like folds up and down. Maybe I should put this on before. Yeah, you probably should put this on before, so then you don't end up getting glue everywhere. I like things difficult now, don't I? She is adorable. She is cute. I should see if she has a boy. There could be a girl and a boy. I'd seen her on Canva, and she did show us in class how to you're going to go a little bit beyond when you stick that down, how you can take these apart, but I guess I didn't pay attention because I missed it all. I came in late, I think. So you can find a picture in there, and then I think you put them into another program, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. And cut it off and leave enough so you can put it in the back. But anything, like if you're just doing a single attachment where you're not putting anything on it, you don't have to, you know, you could use a straight pattern and not have to adjust it. But if you're attaching like arms or legs, you've got to, you have to make sure that you allow for more, you know, to be able to attach it to it, or otherwise, if you're trying to just butt the heads up to where this little edging on, it's going to be very difficult. So let's see what I got over here. We're going to bring this down, a little bit of glue, and press it in there. So now we have our little edging, and they're cute, and we're going to make a little bow. I'm going to stick a little bit more glue down here. So it make a little bow for the middle out of this. If I get some all this glue off me. So I just take this and fold it in half, and then I'm going to fold it in half again. So we're making a little bow, and we're just going to put something in the middle, and I think that looks big enough. Yeah. Just make sure your loops on each side are, you know, about the same. And this I really didn't even do it all the way through because you're going to put some around it. You're making more or less like a loop at however big you want your bow to be. And we'll put it together. And we're going to cut a piece to go in the middle of it. She is adorable. Wait till you see her eyelashes. The eyelashes is what got me all gooey on it. And I had such a hard time with those eyes. I called Cece and I'm like, I don't know, can you make me one from Cricut or something? Because I just can't get these cut out. But later I found out I had maybe too many eyeballs going at it. So then, just make it where it's going to be in the middle. I put a dab underneath that, and then a dab on the top. Then I'm going to flare out the loops. Because this has no wire in it, but it's like that. It's very stiff. I don't know what it is. And we're going to put that like right in the middle. So she has a little bit of bow there, so I've got to get some of this glue off my fingers. I've got everything sticking to me. In her middle. Push them out on the sides. So there, now she's got a little bow right in the middle. Okay, now I've already, you know, this is still not all the way dry, and I think I'm going to lose a bunch of stuff on it because it's still showing white on it. But you can always just make sure you get this dry. I forgot about cutting this out, and this right here is, let me show you, because this is what I did to, they're two pieces. Of course, I don't have them now, do I? This is two pieces. This part is supposed to be like her ponytail, and this is the hairline. And I'm going to wait to glue that on because of my eyelashes, but I'm going to like set it there so that I can get everything put on, and then I'll glue the hair on, and then whatever is too big, then I can just trim it off around the edges of it. What did I do with that? I like taped it together like I did the dress. I don't know where I put it. I don't know. What did I do with it? These are all the pieces of the, see, here's the hair, and then it's got a little pom-pom. Oh, here it is right in front of me. Jeez, a pizza must be fine. This is what I cut out. I cut this out of glitter foam, and then I taped these two pieces together because they're two different pieces on the pattern pieces, and then I cut a whole piece out of it there, out of glitter foam. Then I used Mod Podge all over it, very, very, very thick. Then I used my sprinkles that I used on the last one for the hair that's in here. And I'll put down, you know, I got these off of Amazon. And you might have to, and then I put a little bit of Dawn's white glitter that's real pretty, and it's got like a, I don't know, pinky glow. It's iridescent, more or less, and it's very pretty. It really makes it lighten up, but I must have got maybe, I don't know, this is drying with a lot of white where it was, but I'm not sure why. So you really need to do 2 coats probably. After you get this done, you let it dry completely, then put another coat of Mod Podge on, and then put your sprinkles on. And of course, then I put trim to make the difference, and I put a little bow there, which I think the bow could use a little trimming. But we're gonna put that on last because I want to make sure that I got enough room on my person that I made. I did everything and then was working on the eyes, and I should have waited. To finish the dress, we're going to have buttons down it, and I'm using gumdrops for buttons. So we're going to stagger these down the middle so I can get all this glue off my fingers so everything doesn't catch, and just glue them to the dress. And you could actually put a little, just put a little bit there so it touches it down there, and maybe down by the legs too. So I got these in the, just putting them in the middle by eyeballing it. And this is going to be our buttons. I wanted to show you guys really, I did get these things I ordered, and I ordered from the same lady I get other things from, and these are like half-eaten like Oreo cookies. I was going to use these, but these are just kind of big, but they are just, this stuff is adorable. I got those, the new things, and then I got, I'm going to use this on her, one of these. These are charms, and this is a cupcake. And I bought some more of the little gingerbread guys. That's all from that. I put a link in the group for where I get them from Etsy. She's got the cutest, cutest things. Okay, so now we have her mouth, which we're going to use peppermints. And I cut a little piece of my glittery stuff here for her mouth. And then her nose is going to be a gumdrop. But the eyeballs, look at these, how cute these are. The eyeballs I did out of, these is just a glitter foam, and then I've got it where it's got the eyelashes with the pearls in it. And that's the part that got me all excited. So I'm going to tilt this up a little bit more because I want room for the eyes. And you can go, you know, you can look at your head and everything to see this is what they show. And they give you pieces, 2 pieces for the eyes and all that. And they show the mouth and the nose. And, you know, you can do that with anything you want. But I use that for how close everything was. So let's put this down. This is a mouth, and this is that glitter roping that I don't think I could get the red from Temu. I had to get it from Amazon. And this one is a smaller diameter, but, and you know, I more or less just eyeball things. And then we're going to put these up here for her little. They're just, these are from Hobby Lobby, and they have all, they're like for ornaments on those little baby trees that they have. That's where I got them at last year. I'm sure they have them again this year. Gumdrops are from Hobby Lobby. I got those last year. my other eyeball. So I'm just more or less looking at my picture here, determining where I want this stuff to go. Because seeing this will bring up, and then after I glue it, I'll cut all this off there. I'll glue these ones down. So now I'm going to put this on here. Like that. So it's going to be hanging, you know, you're on the back, because I don't want her eyes to be too high up. You know? Let me looky see how it looks. I'm just putting glue on back of this. I'm gonna flip it over and put it on her little head. Then I'm going to go around the back of it and here and stick my glue gun down in there to do the seam. Yeah, and the best thing is to make sure you do this the day before so it really dries, because mine is not drying. I got stuff coming off of it. I did it today. Which I shouldn't have. Now for their hands, I'm going to use one of my cupcakes. We're going to glue that over here. Sticking it down on that puffy stuff there. And then, I don't know, I have so many different things. The cheese thing, or not the cheese thing. I wish this was in red and white. I could have got some red and white ones and I didn't. So I'm going to put this on this one. This is like a, I don't know what to call it, but whatever it is. I like doing it for the color. And I'm laying it down on cottony stuff, so that, see, and then you can tack it down. And then we have, voila. This is what she looks like. And, you know, for the back of it to cover up all your mechanics, you can cut another piece of the fleece and just put it over top of it with, you could use coat hangers for the attachment part of it, or you could use the ones that I like because they're thicker. Put two of these together and, you know, put it through the fleece there and bring it out with little holes. I've done it through almost all my attachments. I've showed you guys how to do that. And that's how you can attach it. Or, you know, you could just put glue on it and attach it to the, you know, to the wreath. It would stay. But don't you love these? Love these eyelashes? I love these eyelashes. They also have, now that was from the Dollar Tree. They also have ones with glitter. I got pearls. I got short glitter ones, and then there's really big glitter ones. I think I will probably use them. This one, where they glitter for the eyes, and I think that's what makes it so cute, is the glitter. And then you can go through and get all your little strings from your glue and put a little blush on their cheeks. And I didn't bring my blush out. I just use any old blush, pink, so it'll show up really good, and just put, you know, little thing there. Also, I showed you guys how to make the little hats, and I had made a little one, and you could, that's why I didn't put a bow on it. You could also cut this down a little bit. I might do that. Cut down the little pom-pom there, and then stick the hat on. So it's got a little baker's hat on it. I know, I like things that are jazzy, you know that. I'm all for the glitz and the gore here. Hope you guys like this. If you have any questions, I'll try to have everything into my supply list. You got any questions if you try this, by all means, contact me. I love it when you guys actually do things, you know, that I've done. I think I'm gonna do a snowman head with a hat that can be used for an attachment with using, I have to order some, see how fast I can get them. I think like a 6 or maybe an 8-inch. I don't know if I have any 8-inch, so I might have to order it, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to do it. But I think with this on there, it looks really cute. Yeah, a little hat does. So all you have to do is cut this down, cut this off here, and then put this through the middle of it. And that will be really cute. Then I should have waited to put this on. You know, you could pop this off and put it like over here. And, you know, another thing with the hats, which I didn't put any stuffing in the middle of it, only because I think it looks more like a hat because you get all the wrinkles. But if you want it to stand up, this material stands up pretty good. I mean, if you want to put a cupcake, one of these cupcakes are a little bit heavier. So you might want a little stuffing in there to, you know, give it that. But this is a new gingerbread. They're done like gummy bears that I got. I can't remember what else I got that was new. I think just those two things. I don't know. I got, you know, I see one. Thank you. Thank you guys all for staying with me and watching it. This turned out cute. You got any questions, let me know. If there's something that you guys want to see, send me a picture, and I'll try to figure out how to put it together. I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. Once I, you know, see something, I can usually figure it out some way or another. But I hope you enjoyed yourself, and thank you all for stopping by. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. And hopefully I'll have my head so that I can do the snowman head. See you later.